It wouldn't always work for his schedule.
No, I got you. Yeah, I wondered how proactive that Purdue was being with what could.
Yeah.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As Mother Nature turns the temperature to crisp and cool, we turn the calendar to Indiana high school football playoff time. It feels like the playoffs, doesn't it? And guess what? It is. Tonight it's the opening round of the Class 5A Indiana high school football sectionals. This is sectional number 13 as the 4-5 Plainfield Quakers do battle with the 4-5 Cathedral Fighting Irish. And tonight we greet you from Southport High School as Southport will serve as the host for this matchup between the Quakers and the Irish. Hi, everyone, and a pleasant good evening to you. Rob Blackman is my name. My broadcast partner tonight is longtime Indiana high school football coach Lance Scheib. He's wised up in his old age, has Coach Scheib. He's switched to the dark side. He's in a broadcasting business now. I bring that up, Coach Scheib, because you've been here, right? You know what this night feels like for the coaches, for the players, for the community. That first night, that opening night of postseason football, when the slate gets wiped clean and everyone has a chance.
Well, I tell you what, that's the neat thing about the high school football playoffs in Indiana. And I've been a part of it as a player when you didn't make it your last year, and then my senior year, finally it did happen. But it is such a remarkable time. It's a time of the year that everybody looks forward to, because the end result is you want to play Thanksgiving weekend at Lucas Oil, and this is that first step. It should be a great game tonight.
Can't get to Lucas Oil Stadium if you don't win the first one, and that's what both of these two teams are trying to do tonight. Now let's talk about the Plainfield Quakers first, under the guidance of Brian Woodard in his 13th season at Plainfield. All 13 seasons as a head coach have been at Plainfield for Coach Woodard. The fact of the matter is his team is a little shorthanded tonight, and I'm saying that kindly. They'll play without their starting QB tonight. They'll play without their top wide receiver, and they'll play without their top running back. All three are out because of injury.
Well, I tell you what, as a coach, you want to go into the playoffs with your best foot forward and your best players. This is the second straight year that Brian Woodard has come into the sectional time with his key players out. We saw him last year against Decatur Central, same scenario, lost his quarterback, lost his tailback, and now he's doing the same thing again. And the neat thing is, last year the game plan that he put together against Decatur was incredible. I know what he'll have ready for Cathedral tonight will be equal to that. The biggest thing is he's playing against a very talented and dangerous Cathedral Irish team.
That's a great point. Will it be enough? That being the game plan against the Cathedral team. I mentioned they're 4-5 on the year, but in typical Cathedral fashion, you don't normally look at that regular season record and take much from it, because they're playing out-of-state teams. They're playing up 6A competition when they do play in-state. So 4-5, again, in typical Cathedral fashion, is not as indicative of how good they are.
I tell you what, Bill Peoples has done a great job. He took over for Rick Strife and really knows this program as well as anybody, having been a Cathedral grad, having coached here as an assistant under Rick and Jim O'Hara. And so, you know what, Bill has got his kids ready to go. The one neat thing about Cathedral, they back down and shy away from no one. Their schedule is second to none. I really feel like we're watching a team tonight that truly can be playing on Thanksgiving weekend.
Now, for our friends that have been following us all season long here on the Champions Network, you have already seen Cathedral and you've seen Plainfield. We had Cathedral in week 1 when they beat Noblesville 31-7. That game was played at Lucas Oil Stadium. Seems like it was just yesterday, but that's when it was, week 1 of the regular season. And then we were in Plainfield, you might remember, in week 3 when Mooresville beat Plainfield 52-42. So we here on the Champions Network do have the luxury of having seen these two teams play earlier in the year, although the emphasis is on the word early. Again, for Cathedral, it was their first game of the season. For Plainfield, it was their third game of the season. And I would bring this up too. When we saw Plainfield in week 3, they were completely healthy, which they are certainly not right now. I want to talk about the quarterbacks. Let's start with Cathedral. Orrin Edwards, the 6'1", 175-pound junior. hey, this guy, coach, for just a junior, has really started to make a name for himself. And I think this offseason, the college coaches are going to come sniffing around because he's had a great year.
Well, talking to Bill before the game, Peebles, he really likes the way that Orange played and got better each game. I think that's the one thing when you have a first-time starter. I know Orrin played a little bit last year, but to have a first-time starter, you hope each week he gains experience and confidence, and Bill thinks he is really playing at a high level right now. And to your point, he feels like he's one of the better quarterbacks that he's coached, and he's coached some very good ones.
Oh, by the way, he carries a 3.9 GPA on a 4.0 scale. That will make you attractive to the college coaches. I can promise you that, besides your ability to play football at a high level. For Plainfield, it's a much different story. Aiden Moyers, who the son of longtime Pike head coach Derek Moyers, was the starting QB at Plainfield for the bulk of the season, was really having a good year through 7 games, and then injured and now out for the season. So they've had to turn it over to a true freshman in Cale Vanderbush.
Well, I tell you what, Cale, again, he is athletic, he is long, he lacks a little experience because he is that true freshman. But watching him throw before the game, Rob, I tell you what, he throws a pretty ball. I'm anxious to see if Plainfield can protect him well enough. And I know that we'll probably see a little bit of the Wildcat set as well. But I tell you what, watching him warm up and throw, the Vanderbush kid has got a bright future.
Again, the problem, he's just the 9th grader. It's probably a good problem to have, though, as he grows into the position over the next couple of years. He has thrown 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and 81 yards of passing in limited action this year for the Plainfield Quakers. Cathedral is going to kick it off here as we get ready to go. Again, this is Sectional 13 action. The winner of this game plays Roncalli next Friday. Roncalli actually drew the bye in this sectional, so you can guarantee the Rebels coaches are here and watching closely tonight as they are scouting whom they'll be playing next weekend. Christian Allerding is the place kicker for the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. As we are almost ready to go here tonight, we are at Southport High School for sectional action getting underway here on the Champions Network. This is a high pooch kick and an alert play, I should say, as calling for the fair catch over there was the Plainfield up back. And so with a fair catch being called, Plainfield will have a chance to take the football, the first offensive possession of the game, right at their own 35-yard line. And it's our first chance to see the freshman, Cale Vanderbush, at 6'3", 170 pounds. He wears number 15, with Plainfield in the white uniforms tonight and Cathedral in the navy blue with the gold helmets. Vanderbush lines up in the pistol, and it is a low snap. He is able to get rid of the football, however, and pick it up off the ground. And, hey, let me tell you what, there's already a quick little a little quirk to our pregame plan here. Tavion Gaddia, who we did not think we would see play tonight because of injury, is in the game, and he just had the first carry of the game for, about a half a yard.
Yeah, talking to the Plainfield staff, they felt like Tavion wasn't going to be able to go. Didn't know how well he was going to be able to play, but felt like he was going to give it a try early on.
So he is giving it a try. He's back there as the tailback. They want to pass, does Vanderbush, and now steps up in the pocket. He actually will gain a couple of yards. This is positive yardage gained. It doesn't end up being a quarterback sack because he was able to tuck the ball and run for a couple of yards. Tackled there by Quentin Cannon, number 33 for the Irish. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7.
Well, what I like there, Rob, is Cale steps up. Great quarterback step up. They don't elude the pressure by trying to go backwards. So, again, he made a positive play. Nice job by the young freshman. See
if he can now convert on 3rd and long. First possession of this game, and that throw was a little high. It was actually caught. Yes, bobbled and caught. Boy, that was a nice job. It's not enough for a first down, but just the fact that the wide receiver was able to hold on to that football. Number 6, Jack Beebe, actually made the grab for his 23rd catch of the season, but he's shy of the first down. Well, I tell you what, a little high on the throw. Great job of concentration by Jack, catching it a second time, but nice job of at least giving Plainfield an opportunity here to go forward on 4th down. And they are going to go Wildcat formation here, snapping it directly to Gaddia. He lowers the shoulder, and he is going to be very close. As I look at it through the binoculars, I don't know if he has enough. My gut feeling tells me he's going to be just shy of enough for a first down. The Cathedral players are all pointing the other direction, and it is not enough to reach the sticks. 4th and short fails as we look at the replay on the direct snap to Gaddia.
I like the play call. I like the decision to go for it here. Brian Woodard knows he's playing shorthanded here, understands every time and every moment he can keep the ball helps him make this game a shorter game, which is really what he's trying to do to give himself a chance to win.
I'm just happy to see Tavion Gadier in the lineup tonight for Plainfield. That is great news. As you said, talking to Coach Woodard earlier in the pregame, they did not know if he'd be able to go or not, but he's at least giving it a chance. Time now for Cathedral offensively. Their quarterback, Orrin Edwards, and they have a running play on their opening play from scrimmage. That is Chandre Schissel. He is their top running back. Schissel with 718 rushing yards on the season. A short gain of 2 around the left end. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Okay, look forward to watching Chandre play here, especially behind this really good offensive line and large offensive line. You know, it's really going to be hard for Plainfield to find him at 5'5".
He is not a big guy, as Coach mentioned. 5'5", 150 pounds. Ricky also made that tackle a moment ago for Plainfield. 2nd and 8, and this ball is delivered, but off target. Boy, the pressure was in the face of the quarterback, Edwards. That forced the errant throw as he was looking in the direction of Bo Sanders, and now it's 3rd and long.
Great job by Derek Keller of stepping in there and applying pressure there. And again, nice job by Orrin of getting the ball out. Again, I like the rhythm throw. I like what Coach Peebles is trying to do early.
3rd down and 8 for Cathedral. From the shotgun, here's Edwards. They're going option football. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be dragged down. Again, making the tackle. That's Ricky Alsum, the outside linebacker for the Quakers. That's a big tackle on 3rd and long. A tackle behind the line of scrimmage will set him up now 4th and 12.
Well, again, great job of Plainfield stepping up. I just like the fact they're not taking it. They're being aggressive, and they're attacking Cathedral, which is what I think they've got to do tonight to give themselves a chance.
They are doing that right now, and they force Cathedral into a 3 and out. So both defenses stand tall here early in this game. Stuart Gomez is on to do the punting here for the Fighting Irish. He's averaging 41 yards a punt this year. That's a great number for a high school player. This ball is going to go over the head of the return man and bounce into the end zone. That will be a touchback, bringing the ball out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Plainfield. So how about it? A couple of defensive plays on both sides, Coach, to start this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've got both teams are known for playing great defense. They're both hard-nosed coaches. Their coaches understand to win in the playoffs and to make a run in the tournament, you've got to play sound defenses, and that's how this game has started.
It was a 4th and short that Plainfield failed to convert on because of Cathedral's stingy defense. And then Plainfield returns the favor, forcing Cathedral into a 3 and out. So Vanderbush lines up again at quarterback in that pistol formation in the handoff, and this one is going nowhere. The Cathedral defense was waiting this time for the ball carrier, who is number 27, L.J. Burden. 439 rushing yards on the season for Burden.
What I'm looking forward to is just seeing how Plainfield handles that front of Cathedral. Those guys are active, to say the least, and those 3 inside linebackers like to bring pressure.
Vanderbush this time wants to throw down the seam, has his man bobbled and caught. Nice catch, bobbling but holding on was Gage Henry, and that's a 1st down reception for Henry.
Say what, Vanderbush stood in there under pressure. Cathedral brings all 3 linebackers, inside linebackers. Again, watch that again, and again picked up well by the Plainfield running backs and linemen, but I love how Vanderbush stayed in there and delivered a strike.
That was a strike, and the catch for Henry is his 22nd of the season. Vanderbush wants to pass again. This time, however, he's flushed from the pocket. Does find the outlet receiver, and that'll be another 1st down for Plainfield. That was Seth Weiniger, who is lined up in that tight end H-back position, and he's got a 1st down reception.
See, what I noticed already is watch Vanderbush. He is calm. I have not seen him panic. He is very loose. I'm just impressed with his presence thus far.
Been good, awfully good, I should say, early in this game, as we have played just over 4 minutes of football here at Southport High School. Southport hosting this Cathedral Plainfield matchup. And a pair of 1st down plays here for the Quakers of Plainfield. They're working here 1st and 10. Burden carrying a gain of a yard maybe. Boy, he ran right into the arms of big old number 45, Grant Monsmith. And Monsmith brought him to the ground, a 1-yard gain.
Well, what I liked so far about the Cathedral defense is, again, they're attacking, but they play really well with their hands. That front locks you out. And anytime a defensive lineman can lock you out, you've got a chance now, or he has a chance now, to be able to play off that block and get to the ball carrier, and that's exactly what Grant did that last play.
They play with 3 down linemen, Monsmith being one of the defensive ends. 2nd and 9 for the Quakers. Burden carrying. Now this time he does fall forward to the 45-yard line as Plainfield is into Cathedral territory. But again, holding on tightly was Monsmith. Also, number 29, Will Goheen, one of the inside backers, had his hands on him, and it'll bring up 3rd and long.
I tell you what, as much as Cathedral's coming off of the edge with the defensive lineman, look for a little run-pass option or quarterback keep off of play action here.
3rd and 7. Vanderbush is in trouble, and he gets rid of the football just as he was being sacked. Boy, that ball, he was just getting it out of his mitts as he was being tackled by Goheen.
What I like there, again, what Cathedral's doing, and I really like this a plan by the Irish, is they're not letting this freshman get real settled. They're going after Vanderbush as often as possible.
Will they go after him here on 4th down and 7? Now Vanderbush is backing up like he could potentially do the punting here, maybe some type of a quick kick. He has backed up a couple of steps, and that's exactly what he is going to do. They're going to try to pin Cathedral deep. That's if Plainfield can catch up to the football, and they cannot. Boy, Beebe was hustling, doing his best to run down that football, but he couldn't catch up to it. It does cross the goal line, and it'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 at the 20 for Cathedral.
Just impressed again by Vanderbush throwing the football. As much as I'm impressed by that, the Irish front 6, their 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers, are giving nowhere for Plainfield to run the football. So kudos to what they're doing there up front.
Edwards now back on to quarterback Cathedral. This will be their 2nd possession of the game. They went 3 and out the first time they had it, and they go a jet sweep. This is actually a passing play because he did push the ball forward to the ball carrier, who was slicing right in front of him right at the snap of the football, and that is number 5, Bo Sanders, who last year was an all-state player as a defensive back. This year they moved him to offense, and he has been playing well as a wide receiver.
Tell you what, I love that it's almost like a shovel pass now. There's no risk to it. If you fumble it, it's just an incomplete pass.
Yep, counts as a completion for the quarterback. And as you said, if you drop it, so what? It's an incomplete pass. Here is Sissel. He has a seam. He lowers his shoulder, gets down to the 45-yard line before Jacob Platt is able to tackle him. That's a huge run for Cathedral, and it's their first down of the night.
Great job by the Irish offensive line. They picked up a blitz by Keller, and then Sissel was able to hit it right up at the seam. I love it when great backs get north and south as quickly as they can.
He did that awfully quickly there. Chandre Sissel, 8 touchdowns on the year. And they go right back to him, and he's got another huge crease. Now he's down the left sideline, trying to make a man miss. He'll get bumped out of bounds inside of the red zone at about the 18-yard line. Finally was tackled by Owen Litzelman, but that sets up the Irish nicely here.
Well, they're going to get Cathedral for a block in the back or a hold. Coach Peebles is not real crazy about the call. I thought the wide receiver had engaged the defensive back before he turns back, but the officials saw a little differently there.
And that is, by the way, a spot foul. It happened at the 35-yard line. And it was ruled a block in the back. Our referee tonight with his 5-man crew is Eric Mills, wearing the white cap and giving us the signals. So by the time you walk the football back 10 yards from the point of the infraction, it is still a first down for Cathedral. The difference, the ball isn't inside the 20-yard line now.
Well, what I liked about Sissel was he used the block of the wide receiver there. He was very patient. Great backs have the ability to be on balance and use patience in running the football.
Sissel lined up as the lone tailback, standing beside Edwards. And we have a legal motion up front against Cathedral. Actually, I say up front, that may have actually been on Sissel. Oh, no, that goes against the defense.
Sissel's able to reset, even though I thought he false started like what you saw there. And again, they determined, or the officials determined that does not cause a defensive lineman to jump offside, so that's why you get the encroachment call.
And that's why you get 1st and 5 for Cathedral. even though Plainfield was pointing the direction of the Irish. Here's a ball to Sanders out on the flank. Boy, this guy can run. He's inside of the 20. He's inside of the 10. Touchdown, Cathedral. Bo Sanders, his 12th receiving touchdown of the season.
So great job by Sanders. Great job by Edwards of giving Sanders a catchable, a ball that he can run with after he caught the ball. Again, hit Sanders in stride. And then, again, I like the execution as much as anything else.
Great look at it here. Sanders just widens out after lining up in the slot. And he was catching that football on the run, and he was running his way into the end zone. Allarding to attempt the extra point here. And that kick for Allarding is up and good. He's perfect in extra point tries this season. And Cathedral strikes first. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown catch from Bo Sanders over the Plainfield Quakers on our IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Well, we told you before the break, Bo Sanders last year was an all-state defensive back. They moved him to wide receiver this year, and you just saw why. His 40-yard touchdown reception puts Cathedral on the scoreboard first. They're up 7-0 with 5:08 to play here in the opening quarter. Has Allarding again, just a high looping pooch kick that actually skips by Burden, the deep man. He picks it up at the 5-yard line, and now is trying to outrun some Fighting Irish. And guess what? He has some running room, and he turns that into actually a decent play out to the 27-yard line. The rain has begun to fall here, by the way. The rain has begun to fall here at Southport High School. We had a little bit of rain around 5 o'clock tonight, and then the skies kind of cleared a little bit for the kickoff, but now the rain is coming down and coming down pretty steadily. That last drive for the Fighting Irish, 4 plays, 80 yards, took just over a minute off of the clock. And there's a good look at that rain, again, coming down quite steadily now here in Southport.
I'll be anxious to see now what Brian Woodard does offensively, because, again, the biggest thing that they've got to be able to do is somehow not necessarily score here, Rob, but they got to sustain a drive just to rest their defense a little bit here and give them a chance to regroup and really give them a little momentum when they come back out on defense.
And by the way, our temperature currently is at 48 degrees with the wind chill, so 48 and rain for both of these football teams, and that is a one-handed catch. No, he didn't come up with it. Boy, that would have been a heck of a grab by the Plainfield wideout. That was number 8, who had gotten himself free in the slot, Weiniger, the H-back. And I'll tell you what, if Weiniger gets hit in stride, that might be a touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's how you attack the Cathedral defense, because it's a 3-5 defense, and their free safety likes to be very aggressive on the run. So you play action, try to throw behind the free safety means.
Second and 10 after the misfire. And by the way, Plainfield has changed its quarterbacks. This is a running play. Now Derek Keller, the 6', 180-pound senior, is now quarterbacking for Plainfield after Vanderbush had quarterbacked the first 2 series. There's a good look at number 10, Keller, who's technically the third-string QB.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking to Coach Woodard, felt like they would use Keller at quarterback a lot. The problem is he's arguably their best defensive player.
Yeah.
And so now you got to kind of limit his plays a little bit just so he can play on both sides. But again, Brian liked what Keller brought to the offense, so I think that we'll see him again.
Well, and just as we talk about it, he does exit the game. So Keller goes to the sideline, and the freshman Vanderbush comes back in on a 3rd down and 10 here for Plainfield. And now a timeout is going to be called. This one is taken by Plainfield. Timeout on the field as the Quakers take a timeout, looking at a 3rd and 10 with just over 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Hey, one thing is consistent. Things change. When they do, your insurance coverage should too. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance can help. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, stop knocking on wood.
Well, an interesting dilemma for Plainfield here, Rob. We were talking about this a little bit during the timeout. Is if you run the football here, the clock is going to continue to run. The problem is it's 3rd and 10. You haven't been able to run the ball all game. If you throw it, which is what they're going to do here, you miss it, the clock stops. You give Cathedral the ball back, with very little time run off here.
Right.
So again, it's very interesting. I'll be curious to see what Brian Woodard and Derek Moyers really draw up here after this timeout.
Well, I don't know if this will mean anything as far as play calling, but Tavion Gaddia is back into the game as the tailback right now, standing beside the quarterback Vanderbush. Gaddia played in the first series, but has not played since. Again, he's nicked up a little bit tonight. They do want to pass. Vanderbush looking to his left. He has a wide open receiver, and he's going down the right sideline. Plainfield is about to tie the game with the guy who was playing quarterback 2 snaps ago. Derek Keller goes from quarterback to receiver and scores a touchdown.
I tell you what, great job. Brian Woodard felt like that Keller was their best overall player, and boy, he showed there just playing the multiple spots here. Great throw by Vanderbush, and Keller caught that thing in stride and outran the entire Cathedral defense. Great answer, great play coming out of the timeout.
Boy, he was pulling away as he hit the 10-yard line. Great speed for the senior Keller, who's lined up on defense tonight. He's played quarterback, and now he's played receiver. A 3-play, 74-yard drive that covers just over 1 minute of actual game time. It was called out of the timeout. The extra point is up and good by Harris Nichols, and we've got a 7-7 ball game here in Sectional 13. You're watching Plainfield and Cathedral on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking.
7-7, Plainfield and Cathedral. We so often talk in basketball about what is the coach drawing up during the timeout to run out of the timeout. Now we saw it in football. Coach Woodard drew up a beauty.
Well, I tell you what, he did a great job against Cathedral's man-to-man defense, was able to get Means out of the middle of the field. And again, great job up front by the offensive line. And then Keller caught that thing in stride from Vanderbush. Great play design.
Bo Sanders is the deep man for Cathedral, and trust me, Plainfield knows that. That's why they don't even think about kicking in his direction. Instead, just a little pooch kick to one of the up men that is actually gobbled up and played well by Lucas Carrico of the Cathedral Fighting Irish. So it gives Cathedral good field position at the 40-yard line, their own 40. But again, the rain is really coming down now on a cold night here in Southport. Let's see if that will affect this game, especially with the handling of the football.
Anytime you're the favorite, which Cathedral is coming into this game, you don't like to see weather because that evens the playing field out.
Here is Sissel. He has some running room over the 50-yard line into Plainfield territory, down to the 30, turns on the Jets. Now he's inside the 20, and that is a touchdown run by Chandre Sissel. Well, that didn't take long. One play.
Exactly what I just said. The weather's might affect Cathedral in this negative way. No, not all. Sissel, great job again. What I love what he does here, Rob, watch how he's inside out and then plays off the receiver block. How he stays in bounds here, I have no idea. Great balance, great finish, incredible answer for Cathedral.
60-yard touchdown run by Sissel, his 9th rushing touchdown of the season. And just like that, Cathedral has retaken the lead. Allerding with a chance to tack on the extra point, which he does, and it's 14-7. Cathedral has the lead over Plainfield.
I'm going to tell you what, Rob, the thing that any momentum that Plainfield had is gone. Yeah. And I think that's it. If I am Bill Peoples, what am I happy with right now? My team responded. Again, a big play by Plainfield. What do you do then? You answer that with a big play of your own and take any momentum that Plainfield had and really kind of put it aside.
Boy, that didn't take long to steal that momentum either. A one-play, 60-yard drive for the Fighting Irish with Sissel simply taking the ball, running over the left tackle, and then bouncing it outside for a 60-yard run.
When he ran behind Blake Kaufman, and Blake did a fantastic job of washing down the defensive end to allow Sissel a chance to get through that line untouched. Kaufman actually blocked the defensive end into the linebacker, allowing Sissel a lot of space.
Kaufman wears number 55. He actually was the only returning starter on the offensive line when this season began for Cathedral, a young O-line besides Kaufman. But they are certainly coming into their own, and what a block, as you said, by Kaufman. This ball's actually on the field as they tried to pick it up at the Plainfield up back over there, and he couldn't quite get his hands on it cleanly, but he finally did. He, being Colin Dorsett, was finally able to gobble up that football just in time, and he does keep possession for Plainfield with the ball at the 20-yard line.
I'll be anxious to see what the adjustments are on both sides here, especially Cathedral defensively. Their run answer has been great. Their pass answer has been a little shaky just because, again, they're bringing pressure and they're not able to get all the way home to Vanderbush.
I'm most anxious to see who the quarterback will be, and you were right. It is Vanderbush. Both he and the senior, Derek Keller, have been quarterbacking tonight at different times for Plainfield. Here's a nice little stop route, just an easy throw and catch, and that was made to look easy there by Plainfield as they found their H-back, Seth Weiniger.
What I like what Derek Moyers and Brian Woodard are doing now is the outside linebackers have to play both run and pass in Cathedral's defense here. So you play action pass him. You make the linebacker step up. If he steps up, you throw the ball right behind him, which I did last play.
2nd and 5 after that 5-yard catch by Weiniger. And this will be a running play, and it will not be nearly enough for the first down yardage needed. First time we've seen this young man carry the football tonight. That is number 21.
Great job here by Means. That came downhill quickly. What I love about this, having played this defense, I love this 3-5 defense. Your free safety has to be active in the run game, and Shiloh Means does that and does it very well.
And that was Ricky Alsum, by the way. Ricky Alsum was the ball carrier, the junior. On what is now 3rd down and 3. Vanderbush wants to pass and will. And what a catch in traffic. Wow. I'll tell you what, the degree of difficulty on the pass receptions tonight for the Plainfield receivers have been something to see. But what a grab this time by Weiniger.
Look how clean the pocket, though, is. Great job up front. Weiniger takes a great throw by Vanderbush. An incredible throw, but Weiniger goes up and high points it and brings it down.
That was actually pretty good coverage by Jay Jones-Moore, number 24, but an even better reception by Weiniger. Ball is now in Cathedral territory at the 45-yard line. They will go back to the ground, and this is Alsum carrying again. 3-yard gain for Alsum.
Again, nice job by the Plainfield front here. Again, all Plainfield wants to do running the football. If they're gaining positive yards here, I think they'll be pretty happy with that because this Cathedral front 6 is really, really stout.
They are indeed. And by the way, I beg your pardon, that was actually Burden, 27, not 21 carrying. It's getting hard to see through our window here in the press box now that it's covered in rain. This is Burden carrying this time. I'm for certain on this one, and he has a nice lead block that'll put him to the 40-yard line and then some.
What I like about what Brian Woodard's doing here with the offense is he's staying true to what they do. They are a run-first team. Whether it was Moyers, or quarterback, or now Vanderbush, that's why we're seeing so much Wildcat and multiple quarterbacks because they want to run the ball, know if they're going to have a chance against Cathedral, they have to keep the ball offensively.
By the way, that really nice block up front was with number 54, Caleb Boer, the 260-pound senior, who helps lead the way for the running back Burden to at least put them in a position here where they'll have a 3rd and short, 3rd down and 4. Low snap. Again, they go to the backup quarterback, Keller, who's technically the 3rd stringer, but it's a short game for him, short gain on the quarterback keeper. That was quarterback run all the way, and he only gets it to the 39-yard line.
For what Plainfield's done earlier, I'd be surprised if they're not going for it here. The biggest thing there, that Wildcat play there is taking a while to develop. Against this Cathedral defense, you don't have a lot of time, and so look for something to happen quicker, more of the jet sweeps or those type things. Those seem to be working better against the Cathedral defense.
Plainfield does not have to run a play before the quarter is finished, and they will choose not to do so. So when we open the second quarter, Plainfield will be looking at a 4th and 4 from the Cathedral 39-yard line. Sectional action tonight here in Sectional 13. Cathedral leads Plainfield 14-7 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
We open up the second quarter of action. This will be a big 4th and 4 here for the Plainfield Quakers at the 39-yard line of Cathedral. 159 yards of total offense in the first quarter for Plainfield, 143 for Cathedral. That's a lot of offense in the first 12 minutes. Let's see what happens here in the second quarter. Vanderbush is in at quarterback now. They have brought him in for this 4th down and 4 play. Weiniger in the slot left with Beebe wide left. See if they'll look their direction, and now we have a timeout. And a timeout is taken by Plainfield. Now, as a former head coach, that drives you crazy, right? You had the whole quarter to put together your game plan, and then you can't get the ball snapped, you got to take another timeout.
Well, I think what ended up happening there, Cathedral went straight man and was going to bring pressure. I don't think that Brian Woodard liked his call. So instead of forcing the call, Vanderbush kept looking to the sideline. There was no reaction from the Plainfield coaching staff, meaning that they didn't like that. Let's call timeout. Let's go back and let's now have a plan. So look for some kind of crossing routes or some kind of pick plays by Plainfield to go against this Cathedral man-to-man defense.
You're assuming Coach Peebles won't change the defense in the timeout.
That's the whole cat and mouse game that you've got here. But what Cathedral wants to do, they are known for great pressure and great man-to-man defense.
Well, let's see what happens here. It's second timeout taken by Plainfield, so they'll have only one remaining for the rest of this first half. Gaddy is in the game as the tailback. He's played sparingly so far. They're going to go a reverse. Beebe wants to throw. He's got a receiver, and it's a little bit underthrown and incomplete. The ball was slightly underthrown. The defender that was in the area was number 2. Ready to make the play for the Fighting Irish, Dorian Collins.
Great job on the reverse here. I like the play call, but I tell you what, great job by Dorian. What a fantastic stay-at-home discipline play by the Cathedral defense. Fantastic job by the Irish.
Thought they might be able to trick him, did the Plainfield Quakers, but the defense was ready, willing, and able as Jacob Sheets was the intended wideout on that reverse pass. So for the second time tonight, Plainfield turns it over on downs, and here's Orrin Edwards and the rest of the Irish offense now. Giving to Sissel, and he spins away from no one. Jacob Platt, the junior middle linebacker, with a nice tackle right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 yard.
Great job by Platt of understanding what was happening, didn't get fooled by the jet motion, and stayed true to his read of reading Sissel and kept him to a very short gain.
Platt had a great game defensively when we saw him in week 3 against Mooresville here on the Champions Network. He was making tackles all over the field. Play action pass, and that'll be a catch, and maybe more. Haven Montefalco deep into Plainfield territory, finally tackled at the 21-yard line. 35th catch of the season for the tight end, Montefalco.
Montefalco, great job again. I'm a young man that really has not played much football for Cathedral. Now the college scouts are paying a lot of interest, talking to Bill Peoples this week. He could not say enough about his senior tight end there.
He looks the part, 6'4", 215 pounds. And a number of Ivy League schools have offered on Montefalco, and now also a number of MAC schools are starting to get involved with that tight end. They want to pass it. Edwards looks to the left flank. Sanders has the catch, and he is going nowhere. Wonderful job defensively out on the perimeter by number 29 defensively for Plainfield. That is Colin Dorsett. Makes a huge tackle in space.
Well, I tell you what, when you've got Sanders in space and you can bring him down one-on-one, open field tackle, fantastic job by the Plainfield defense.
Ends up being a 3-yard loss, actually. Well done there by the Plainfield defender. And yeah, you're right, man. Bo Sanders is not an easy guy to get down in space, but Dorsett got him on the ground. It makes it 2nd and 13. Edwards wants to pass again. This pass is caught by Sanders, but again, the Plainfield defense is ready to wrap him up. And guess who makes the tackle again? Dorsett, this time with the help of his teammate, Hunter Herbeck.
I tell you what, the conditions are playing a little bit of a part in that throw because Orrin can't grip it as well as he did earlier on in the game. So the ball came out a little late, allowing that Plainfield defense to rally to Sanders.
Now, there was a penalty thrown on the play, a penalty marker thrown on the play, and it is against Cathedral. It is holding against the Irish. Plainfield chooses to accept the penalty. Would have been roughly 3rd and 14 or so had they waved it off, but they instead will set them up 2nd and long. After the holding walk-off against Cathedral. Edwards wants to throw, has all kinds of time, has his man. Now that'll get a bulk of the yardage back. Bo Sanders on the catch. Not enough for a first down, but he does take the ball to the 16, 17-yard line.
Tell you what, I like the way that Edwards throws the ball there. He's in rhythm, he's balanced, doesn't force it. Again, makes a very catchable ball to Bo Sanders.
So they go from 2nd and 25 to 3rd and 7. They give it to Sissel. He's slicing and dicing his way inside of the 10, and that will be enough for a first down.
Great job by Sissel. Fantastic job up front by the Irish offensive line. And again, right now, you've got a probably 6 or 7 two-way players for Plainfield, and starting to show up a little bit now as they're getting a little tired.
And the ball is inside of the 10, so it's 1st and goal technically from about the 9.5 here for the Irish. Edwards tried to draw them off sides. Now throws to Sanders on that inside jet sweep. Bo Sanders has some running room, cuts it inside. Touchdown, Cathedral. That will technically count as a receiving touchdown for Bo Sanders. And it's now 20-7, the Irish lead.
What I love what Sanders did there. Watch here, everything shows up in front of him. Anytime that you see people flying in front of you, put your foot in the ground and cut back, and there was nobody left. Great job of adjustment by Plainfield to try to shut down the jet sweep, but better job by Bo Sanders.
3rd touchdown of the night for Cathedral. Allerding will try to make it 21-7, and he does. He stays perfect on the season in extra point opportunities. And the Cathedral Fighting Irish have a 2-touchdown lead. It's 21-7 over Plainfield on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
A licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Cathedral, a 6-play, 61-yard drive to extend their lead at 21-7 over Plainfield. Took just over 3 minutes of game clock action for Cathedral to push their lead to 2 touchdowns. And now Plainfield really in a position where they're going to have to start answering with scores of their own. This short kick, a fair catch is called for and made by Ricky Alsum. So Plainfield will have another crack here offensively. Give you a little inside story on this game, what makes this one so unique. The head coach of the Cathedral Fighting Irish, Bill Peebles, and the head coach at Plainfield, Brian Woodard, are both University of Evansville graduates, both played football there, but they did not play at the same time. Bill actually was a grad assistant on the staff when Brian Woodard was a freshman playing for U of E, so they never were actually teammates, although Coach Peebles was, as I said, a grad assistant when Brian Woodard was on the playing on the field for the Purple Aces back when they used to have football.
Unfortunately, they don't have that now, which is really a shame because that was such a great program, had friends and family that played for Evansville, and just a neat program that unfortunately doesn't have football now.
That was Vanderbush hitting Weiniger there on the short stop route. It's a nice gain on first down of about 6 yards to set them up 2nd and 4. They went with a safe little stop route there, and Weiniger sure-handed made the grab. Gaddia back on as the tailback here for Plainfield. And again, same route, same result. This time, though, it's Jack Beebe on the catch, and that will be enough for a first down. I got to tell you, I love the fact that number 13, Gaddia, is getting the snaps that he is, because, as you said, pregame, they weren't sure if he was going to be able to play, and he's been in there a bunch.
I tell you what, he's done a fantastic job, as much blocking as he has, or protecting the quarterback, as he has running the football.
That 6-yard catch by Beebe gives another set of downs here for the Red Pride of Plainfield. And again, working with their freshman QB and Cale Vanderbush, playing for the injured Aiden Moyers. Play action, Vanderbush to throw, and that one is incomplete. Nice defensive coverage there on the perimeter by Johnny Leffel, the outside linebacker who wears number 11 for Cathedral.
Great job by the Fighting Irish defense there. Again, you talked about Gaddia earlier. Just unfortunate, he's had a great year. He's nicked up. We're really not seeing the running back in his true form. But again, I give the young man credit. He's in there gritting it out.
Play action. Vanderbush is under some duress. He got rid of the ball just at the last second as he was being brought to the ground by Will Chapman. A penalty flag has been thrown, however. Chapman, the 6'1", 215-pound senior, the inside backer, had wrapped up Vanderbush, was bringing him to the ground as he was throwing the football. And it's holding against the defense. Oh, a big mistake there by the Cathedral Fighting Irish.
Tell you what ended up happening there, great job by the Plainfield receiving corps. They stayed alive, meaning that when Vanderbush got flushed from the pocket, they kept moving, and the Cathedral defense didn't realize what was happening with the quarterback, and they just initially grabbed the wide receiver.
And that ends up being an automatic first down for Plainfield. It puts them into Cathedral territory at the 49-yard line. So a mistake defensively by Cathedral gives Plainfield a first down. Wildcat, they snap it right to Gaddia. Lowers the shoulder. Boy, what a collision between he and Chapman right at the line of scrimmage. It ends up being a gain of 1.
Tell you what, Chapman met Gaddia in the hole, and Chapman was going forward. What a great collision by both young men there. And again, to what Plainfield wants to do, whether it's Wildcat or in the regular spread offense, they want to keep running the football. Credit to Coach Woodard and to Coach Moyers on that.
And now they do bring back in the quarterback, Vanderbush. We haven't even mentioned their top receiver, Cade Ritter, is out with injury this season. Another one of those offensive weapons. Here's a ball thrown incomplete, intended for Gage Henry, coming out of the slot. There is a penalty flag. I wonder if the defender may have been there a tad early for Cathedral.
About a step early, and again, the ball, again, I love the aggressiveness of the Cathedral defense there, but he was there just a step early, And again, nice job of Plainfield of still attacking. They're going at it. I can't tell you enough, Rob. I am impressed with Vanderbush. Again, he throws a good ball. It's a wet ball now. And again, he shows great poise for just being a freshman.
Only a ninth grader. That is an automatic first down. How about 2 straight first downs for Plainfield because of Cathedral penalties? So the drive continues. And the good news, the rain has stopped for the moment. It's a wet field and a wet football, but at least the rain has subsided. 1st and 10 here for Vanderbush. Steps up in the pocket, delivers a throw, and that is incomplete. And here comes another penalty flag. This time in coverage was number 14 for the Irish, Boo Huntington, the outside linebacker. I think he might get hit with a pass interference call.
The official felt like he was there a little early. And again, the one thing that I like, Cathedral is going to keep playing tight man-to-man. And if I'm Coach Peoples, I'm okay with these flags because we're getting there early. We're still being aggressive, and I think that's the way that you attack a throwing offense, by keeping them or keep pressuring them.
Eric Mills, our referee tonight, has been busy these last couple of minutes. Another first down via penalty for Plainfield. That's 3 in a row. 3 straight first downs for the Quakers because of Cathedral penalties. Now the trick, of course, for Plainfield is to do something with the help they've been given and cash in. Vanderbush on the quick slant. That ball is broken up, incomplete. That was just great coverage there by Adrian Edmonds. The corner in coverage tipped that ball away.
Liked Edmonds there. He, again, a longer safety type or DB type here. He does a great job of timing this out, tries to take away the inside, making it really hard for Vanderbush to fit the ball in there.
Could not fit it in because of that excellent defense in the 2nd and 10. With 6 minutes and 26 seconds to play here in the second quarter. And Cathedral leading 21-7. Vanderbush fumbled the snap as it was low at his feet. He alertly picks it up. He is on the run, and he's just going to throw that one away. And here comes another flag, this one thrown in the position, or the area, I should say, of the linebacking crew.
I think we might get lineman downfield, is what I think, because, again, the play was just bobble snap, took a long time. Again, really, Vanderbush probably could have ran the ball for some positive yards, but I'm going to go ahead and guess it might be lineman downfield.
And you have guessed correctly. That is the sign from Eric Mills, and an eligible receiver downfield.
It's really hard on linemen because you don't know if the quarterback's going to run or not run. And, again, in that case there, you might get a not taking the penalty here and just take the loss of down.
There's Bill Peebles to the left of your screen talking with the referee about whether he'd like to take this penalty or not. Bill Peebles played at Cathedral as a high school player. Started his coaching career right here at Southport. And it was not a great start, folks. His first 3 seasons here at Southport, 1-9, 0-10, 1-9. But Southport stuck with him, and they were happy they did because he turned this Southport program around.
I'll tell you what, I was at Franklin Central coaching against Bill Peoples when he first got here, and I tell you what, he inherited a mess, but was able to ride that ship. And just, again, he's a great coach, and he showed that here at Lawrence Central and now back at Cathedral.
Vanderbush, the ball actually slipped out of his hand, and it was intercepted. It looked to me like he was trying to pull his arm back while he was throwing the football. And he couldn't actually, it seemed to slip out of his hands, I should say. And the ball is intercepted. Let's take another look. Oh, no, now I take that back. That was actually a thrown football that Richie Haggerty just simply jumped up and picked off for his 2nd interception of the season.
Do you know how impossible that is to do? When you look at that defensive player again, that was an incredible play, athletic move on his part. Great job by Haggerty.
Haggerty just literally jumped into the line of the pass and picked it off with it coming at him full speed ahead. This is going to be ruled an incomplete pass as they were trying to shovel the ball towards Sissel. That was one of those self-defense moves by Haggerty. If you don't catch it, it's going to knock you over.
I thought it got tipped, and I couldn't tell. It happened so quick. But I'm like, great replay by our film crew here, but unbelievable just play by Haggerty.
Turnover is the first of the game on the takeaway by Cathedral. as a team, their 9th interception of the season. And again, the second by Haggerty. Here's a penalty flag thrown as this throw and catch is made at around the 24-yard line. But let's see if this play is going to stand. Evan Dawn on the reception for Cathedral. But again, we do have a penalty marker.
And basically what happened was the Bo Sanders, I believe, covered up the tight end. He went downfield. That's illegal. Great call. Seeing that by the officiating crew.
So ineligible receiver downfield is the official call. Wipe off the catch there by Evan Dawn. And that will move the ball back to the 11-yard line. Cathedral has been its own worst enemy here in the second quarter with the penalties.
That's one thing that Bill Peebles talked about. They kind of get him in waves and talked about that before the game was, when we play a clean game, we're pretty good. And when we hurt ourselves with penalties at times, we make it a lot tougher on ourselves.
They had only one penalty in the first quarter. Edwards has to loft this one high and incomplete. He was under some pressure, under duress in the end zone, and had no real option other than to throw that football away. That's because number 50, Ryan Kurt, was bearing down on him. So that now makes it 3rd and 15.
I tell you what, anytime you're behind the change and you can't do what you want to do naturally and you have to force it because you're second and long or third and long, it really makes it difficult. I'm going to look for a very basic play. Give the ball to my running back. Let's pump the thing and go play defense again.
Sissel is lined up, has that running back. Let's see if they'll give it to him. Yep, you called it, Coach. Sissel, however, does have the breakaway speed to turn it into a big play, and he does. Boy, wouldn't you know, you try to play a conservative, and you turn it into a first down run all the way out to the 41-yard line, a 30-yard run by Chandre Sissel.
Tell you what, when you get behind the chains, you're better off to go back to what you normally are very good at and built to do. Cathedral's built to run the football. Great job up front by the offensive lineman again, and then Sissel just again bobs and weaves his way through for first down.
Dorsett had a chance at him, but Sissel was able to wiggle himself away and then turn it into a 30-yard run. And they go right back to the ground again, handing the ball to Sissel. 5-yard run for him. Jacob Platt on the tackle.
And the amazing thing for me, Rob, and you played this game long enough to know that big play there. Now look what's going to happen now. Now the momentum offensively, now you're back in rhythm, now you're ahead of the chains. It's amazing how one play can make that big a difference.
And still plenty of time with which to work. 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Sissel again trying to find running room. This time jumping on top of him was Mason Scott to make the tackle, number 44. You can tell Sissel's a warrior. Just look at his helmet. You can see the paint chips are basically all torn off of there.
Well, I tell you what, at 5'5", that young man is a warrior, as you talked about. He is a tough son of a gun. I just like the way he's got great feet, great balance, and really, really nice vision.
It's going to be 3rd down and 2 here for Cathedral. Give it to Sissel, and he's got a first down run. That will move the chains.
And a lot of people might wonder why the motion of Sanders. One, he's a very eligible receiver there, but that walks a linebacker out. Now you run the ball right where that linebacker was, give yourself every opportunity.
The other thing I liked about that play, they brought in number 92, Luke Adams, as the lead fullback. And the 200-pound Adams with a nice kick-out block on the left end, allowing some extra running room. There you see 92 still in the game. Here's a quick toss to Bo Sanders, who's trying to run out of a tackle. Jacob Platt was holding on dearly to try to get him on the ground, and tackle was finally made. And that was actually Derek Keller helping out on that tackle for Plainfield.
What I like what Cathedral's done is they were in 3 wides and 4 wides, and they run the ball well, but now a different look, bring the fullback in, and now it's a whole different look for that Plainfield defense.
And there you see that fullback again wearing number 92, young man named Luke Adams. And they go straight ISO with him leading the way, and boy, the defense that time was ready to make a play. Great push up front by the Plainfield defense. It all started with number 54, Caleb Boer.
Tell you
They
what,
push him backwards.
He's been fantastic on both sides of the football here. I just like the push that Boer's giving that Plainfield front.
Also up there to make some initial contact, Sam Trent, the 280-pound sophomore who wears number 56. No, 76, I should say. 76 for Trent. As we're under 3 minutes to go in the half. High snap. The quarterback has to keep it himself. There was no choice for Edwards other than just keep the football because of that high snap. And he actually turns it into a first down run.
Oh, Rob, great point there. The snap kind of threw the play off, but really did a great job of making or taking the decision out of Edwards' hands, and he kept it for a nice first down.
Had no choice but to just keep the ball. And he turns something out of nothing. 1st and 10 now. Ball inside of the 30 of Plainfield. Here's Sanders again, trying to get to the outside. He'll pick up a couple of yards, hustled out of bounds over there by a hustling Owen Litzelman, number 12.
Well, the one thing looking at the Cathedral Irish, as great a job as they're doing up front, Sanders is doing a great job on the perimeter. The only negative, if there is a negative, about Sissel at 5'5", it's really hard to run a power running game. You know, Bill Peebles loves a power, running game. But again, as good a coach as Bill is, he's figured out ways to still stay true to what he likes to be able to do running the football.
Last year, Cathedral, of course, had the services of Marquis Stepp as their lead tailback. Always nice to have a guy like that carrying the football. Oh, nice tackle in the backfield. This will be a tackle for loss. Caleb Boer again, number 54 on the play for Plainfield.
I'll tell you what, the 5'11", 260-pound senior is having a whale of a game. Great job of playing with his hands, plays off the block of the tight end, and does a great job of limiting the running play by Cathedral.
Tackle for loss will make it 3rd and 7. Marquis Stepp, by the way, now at USC. A very talented player a year ago for the Irish, and this will be an offsides penalty, a defensive encroachment penalty, I believe, against Plainfield.
Boy, that changes the whole complexity of that third down. It's 3rd and 7 or 8. Now you're thinking run, may play action. Now it's 3rd and short. Now you've got 2 downs with only 1:44 to go in the half. A very costly penalty by Plainfield.
And as my partner mentioned, they're down to 1:44 and counting on the clock here in this second quarter. New tailback is subbed into the game, at least for the moment, for Cathedral. That is a young man that wears number 30. His name is Jake Langdon.
A little change of pace there. Langdon trying to, be able to stick it up there inside. But again, Plainfield's defense, really Plainfield in general, has played a good first half. They just have turned the ball over and not finished in the red zone.
Are they going to measure here? It was awfully close. They're either looking at 4th and probably the length of a football or a first down. And it looks like Eric Mills, the referee, has indeed decided, yes, they are going to go ahead and take a measurement just to be certain. They will stretch out the chains and see. And it is a first down. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Cathedral. Now they've got 1:35 with which to work, and they have all 3 timeouts remaining. So with the ball at the Plainfield 19, they're really in a good spot here.
Well, the nice thing is they've run the ball well enough, Cathedral has. But again, Plainfield has stepped up, so look for a little movement of Edwards and some type of play action pass here.
Edwards does want to throw. He's looking to the back corner of the end zone. That ball is lofted up, and it is caught incomplete. Incomplete, says the back judge. It looked to me like the catch was made, but it was ruled incomplete. There is a penalty flag thrown as Evan Dawn was the receiver racing down the left sideline there in the near corner of the end zone.
I tell you what, Edwards gave a signal, change the play a little bit to Dawn. Great throw and catch like you. I thought he caught the ball.
Yeah.
But again, nice job. Looks like they're calling offensive pass interference.
Yes.
Wow.
So whether he caught it cleanly or not, that point is moot because it's coming back anyway on the offensive pass interference.
He pushed off. Yeah, he used his right arm and pushed off. Great call by the official.
So another costly penalty. There have been plenty of them here in the second quarter for Cathedral. I say costly. They haven't cost them any points on the scoreboard. but they certainly have cost them field position. Montefiore now lines up as an H-back fullback. They're going to throw it. That ball is caught, yes, at the 29-yard line. They went right back to Dawn, who does make the grab for a very short gain. And now it looks like Cathedral will burn their first timeout here with 1:08 to play in the first half. Better educated coaches produce better athletes. You can help give high school coaches the training they need by contributing to the IHSAA Foundation. Make your tax-free contribution today at ihsaafoundation.org.
I'll tell you what, Rob, you talked about earlier with all 3 timeouts left. You know, Cathedral is in a great spot. Just got to keep beating themselves here with penalties. But that's why you can throw a hitch route or a short route, because you've got still a lot of time left, especially with all those timeouts.
Well, we have a minute to add more to that University of Evansville football story. Coach Woodard on his staff has a couple of his former U of E teammates on there, including John Minton. And he's one of those assistants, has his Kevin Sloan. But Plainfield's starting middle linebacker Jacob Platt, his father Chad, he and Bill Peebles were best of friends and college teammates at the University of Evansville. So Coach Peebles was telling me earlier tonight, you know, I didn't reach out to Chad very much this week because I knew we were playing his son. As that ball is caught right over the middle of the field, down to the 1-yard line. It is not enough for a touchdown, but what a catch for Bo Sanders, who took the hit, held on to the football, and got himself to the 1-yard line.
Great job of throwing and catching here. Sanders, again, you're going to get hit whether you catch the ball or not. Great throw down to the one by Edwards.
So you might as well hold on to the football. And that's exactly what Sanders did. Sissel is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The defense was waiting. That's Ryan Kurt. Number 50, he made the initial contact behind the line of scrimmage. That'll actually be a loss of a couple of yards.
Again, a kind of an interesting snap there. I think Edwards was signaling to Coach Peebles, let's go under center. So look for that after the timeout, just because I think the ball's wet and I think the snap has been a little shaky. And I think Edwards right now feels a little more comfortable under center here. So look for that when they come out of the timeout.
And the timeout taken by Cathedral. Again, now they still have one timeout remaining, and they're at 43 seconds to play here in the first half. But as I was saying before, that great catch over the middle there by the young man who wears number 5, Bo Sanders. So Jacob Platt, the starting middle backer for Plainfield, his dad, Chad, great buddies with Bill Peebles, teammates, best of friends back in the U of E days. Coach Peebles said he wasn't going to take it easy, though, tonight on Jacob, just because his dad was his good buddy. Still trying to win a football game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jake Platt is a good player. And I tell you, he is coming downhill as a force for that Plainfield defense.
And just a junior is Platt. Outstanding wrestler as well. Made it to the regionals of the wrestling last year. All right, out of the timeout, we're looking now at second down and goal from the 3. The ball had been on the 1. Just missed Sanders in the near corner. It was a rollout pass for Edwards, and the ball was just out of the reach of Sanders.
Great job by Keller. Derek came off of the corner and really didn't give Edwards a lot of time to throw the ball. Great play design by Cathedral. He was all by himself, but Keller, because of his aggressive blitzing, didn't give Edwards much time to throw the ball.
Well, now you're looking at third and goal from the 3. Remember, it was first and goal from the 1. They do have the fullback Adams back in there. Play action. They've got a wide receiver over the middle, and that's actually the tight end, Montefiore, wide open on the pop pass. And Cathedral scores again.
Great play design. You've got a jet motion in Sanders. You've run the ball so well, and now you go play action pass, pop pass, as you talked about. Great job, great play design by Bill Peebles and Cathedral.
Yeah, you could see defensively all the Plainfield defenders, their eyes were all looking towards Sanders, and they forgot about Montefiore. High snap, but that was a nice job of catching that high snap by Colin Odell, a backup quarterback. He was able to get it down, and the kick is good by Allerding. as Cathedral extends their lead to 28-7 with only 35.1 seconds to play here in the first half. You're watching Cathedral battle Plainfield on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Monefalco with a 3-yard touchdown catch for Cathedral as they're up 28-7. That last drive for the Irish, by the way, a 17-play drive. How impressive is that? And now they lead 28-7.
I'll tell you what, I was just impressed in general because Plainfield's played well on defense. It's not like they're giving up a lot of big plays here. Again, the biggest one was a 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 17 run to Sissel, but nice job by Cathedral.
Allerdang, again, just kind of pops one up in the air. And again, they'll make the fair catch call. Will the Plainfield up man, Ricky Olson. A couple of times he's had to do that tonight, as neither kicker has tried to boot the ball toward the end zone on the kickoffs. Just try to pop that kick up there and make one of the up men catch it.
Well, you talked about it earlier, whether it's Cathedral or Plainfield here, their return games in the kickoff area are so good that you're better off just popping up, giving them the ball on the 35-yard line. Again, making other people catch the ball that aren't necessarily used to doing that.
Looks like Plainfield wants to take a knee and just get this thing to the locker room. They may have to snap it one more time. Let's see when they reset the play clock here. Actually, the play clock never reset after the snap, so it's not going to matter. The officials are just going to say, that's fine. We will send them to the locker room, as the final 10 seconds are going to tick off the clock here in the first half. Well, it's been Cathedral getting it done with both big plays, as in one-play touchdown drives, and then doing it methodically, as in 17-play touchdown drives. They've done it both ways tonight offensively, and they've opened up a 28-7 lead over Plainfield as we have reached halftime here at Southport High School. 28-7, Cathedral leading Plainfield. As we take a break, our halftime program is next, right here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This is old you. And this is now you.
Clive wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/official.
Cathedral has scored 21 in a row to blow this thing open here in the first half, 28-7. Cathedral leading Plainfield. This is opening round action of Sectional 13. Playing tonight at Southport High School. Southport hosting this game with Cathedral not having their own home field, so they're borrowing one here at Southport. I should mention, for years, and you know this, Coach, Southport and Perry Meridian always shared this field, but that is no longer the case. A couple of years ago, Perry Meridian got their own home facility, and that thing is nice.
Well, I tell you what a great thing for Perry Township in general to be able to have two fields now, which is why this field is open tonight with Southport having the week 1 bye, playing Brownsburg next week. But it's really nice to have this venue available for Cathedral to host this Section 1 game.
That is the voice of Lance Scheib, the longtime Noblesville head football coach, joining me on the broadcast tonight. Rob Blackman is my name, and with that, let's look at the first half highlights. There were plenty of them here in the first 24 minutes of the game. It all started for the Cathedral Fighting Irish when Bo Sanders caught a 40-yard pass from Orrin Edwards for the opening touchdown of the game. Just a simple throw to the right flank, and he was off and running.
Just the tempo of that bubble screen was fantastic by both Sanders and by Edwards.
Capped off a 4-play, 80-yard drive for Cathedral. They were up 7-0. Plainfield, however, answered quickly. Derek Keller, who's played a little defense tonight, he's played a little quarterback tonight, but on this play he was playing receiver, and he goes 74 yards for a touch.
Great job by Vanderbush of getting the ball to Keller, and then as we talked about earlier, he pulls away. Great answer by Plainfield.
That was simply a 3-play, 74-yard drive for Plainfield. Even the score at 7. Cathedral comes right back and scores, however. Chandre Sissel, a 1-play, 60-yard drive because of this 60-yard run.
I'll tell you what, great job, great balance, great vision by Sissel. How he stayed in balance was just amazing, but nice answer by Cathedral there.
14-7 at this point. The Irish had the lead. They would add on to the lead when Bo Sanders picked up his second touchdown of the game, this time on the pass from Edwards.
Nice little shovel pass there, or jet sweep. Nice job and vision by Sanders to cut that back.
And again, that counts as a forward pass, so it goes as a passing touchdown for Edwards. Made it 21-7 at that point, and then the final score of the half comes just before halftime, just 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter, when the tight end Haven Montefalco is wide open in the back of the end zone.
Nice play designed by Cathedral. Montefalco found himself wide open. Great job by Edwards delivering a strike.
That was the impressive 17-play drive that covered 84 yards, 5 minutes and 33 seconds for Cathedral as they led at that point 28-7. So you talk about opposite ends of the spectrum. Cathedral has had a 1-play, 60-yard touchdown drive in this game, and they've had a 17-play, 84-yard drive in this touchdown game. For a touchdown. They lead 28-7 as we are at halftime. Some scores from around the state in a moment, but first let's take a look at the first half numbers from this matchup. Cathedral had 11 first down to Plainfield's 8 first downs in the first half. Plainfield just 14 rushing yards as a team on 13 carries. The Irish was 16 carries for 156 total rushing yards. Passing yards for Plainfield, 155 in the first half, 158 for Cathedral. So when you add it all up, Cathedral with 314 yards of offense, 169 yards of offense for Plainfield, but it's worth noting Plainfield had only 10 yards of total offense in the second quarter. There's been only one turnover in this game. That was an interception thrown in the second quarter by the Plainfield quarterback, Cale Vanderbush. 2 penalties in the first half on Plainfield for just 10 yards. I'll tell you what, Cathedral really struggled in the penalty category. 7 penalties for 81 yards, but 6 of those penalties came in the second quarter and were really drive-killing or drive-extending penalties defensively that kept Plainfield on the field offensively. 2 of 6 on third down was Plainfield. 6 of 7 was Cathedral. Plainfield was 0 of 2 on fourth down, and Cathedral did not attempt a fourth down play. Time of possession actually in favor of Plainfield at 12 minutes 33 seconds to 11:27 for Cathedral. That's all you need to know as we have reached halftime with Cathedral leading Plainfield 28-7 here at Southport High School. Halftime as you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Read them aloud.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Hi, I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
This is old you. And this is now you.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the wind.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials.
Halftime here at Southport High School. Southport hosting this Plainfield Cathedral matchup, round 1 of Sectional 13 action in Class 5A football. The winner tonight will face Roncalli next week. The Roncalli Rebels are on the bye week this week, so they literally have nothing to do other than sit in the stands here tonight, which I'm sure their coaching staff is, and scout this game to find out who they will be playing next weekend. Give you some scores from across the state, as this is opening round sectional action for the entire state of Indiana. And we don't have all the scores, but we'll try to give the ones that we do have to you. Anderson Prep Academy leading Union City 8-7 in the first quarter. Beech Grove over Mooresville in what is a really big game tonight. 14-7 Beech Grove the lead. That is in the first quarter. Monrovia leads at Brown County 21-0. Second quarter action there. Chittard all over Ritter, 40-0. That game is at halftime. In the second quarter, Danville leads Greencastle 7-0. Also in the second quarter, Eastbrook over Oak Hill, 21-7. Lewis Cass leading Eastern 28-0. That game is also in the second quarter. Alexandria over Elwood, 21-0. They're in the second. LaPel leads Frankton, 28-0. They're in the second quarter. Batesville over Greensburg, 21-0. That's the first quarter score. Guerin Catholic over Crawfordsville, 21-0. First quarter there. Western Boone over Indianapolis, Washington, 36-0 in the second quarter. Western Boone currently the number 1 team in 2A football. Indian Creek over Crispus Attucks, 22-6. They're in the second. Delta and Lebanon all tied at 7 apiece. That game in the second quarter, that is the other game, a doubleheader on IHSAA TV tonight. So some of you may be flipping back and forth between the two games. You're seeing a good one, obviously, in Lebanon with Delta and Lebanon tied at 7. Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger leads Logan Sport 7-0. They're in the second quarter. Shenandoah over Madison Grant, 20-0 also in the second quarter. Triton Central over Milan, 14-10 in the second. Monroe Central over Clinton Central, 20-0 in the second quarter. Columbus East leading New Albany 17-3. That game is at halftime. Also at half, Newcastle and Greenwood, they are tied at 14 apiece. Hamilton Heights 14, North Montgomery 14 in the second quarter. We have Northview blowing out Owen Valley 41-0 at halftime. Blackford blowing out Northwestern 34-0 at the half. Cascade leads Park Tudor 41-0 at half. Delphi, undefeated Delphi, leading Rensselaer 7-0 there in the first quarter. Cecina over Centerville 21-0 in the second. Tri-Central and Sheraton tied at 7. They too are in the second quarter. Pioneer, the number 1 team in Class A football, leads South Newton 40-0. That game is in the second quarter. Brebeuf over Southmont 13-0 in the second. Tippy Valley leads Peru 14-0 also in the second quarter. Franklin over Whiteland 14-10. That game is nearing the half. And one other score for you here. Zionsville leading Muncie Central 28-0. That game is in the second quarter. So a lot of games obviously around the state. Opening round action of sectional play in the state of Indiana getting underway tonight. And here it's Cathedral leading Plainfield 28-7. The start of the second half when we come back on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
A licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 21 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Well, a chilly night here tonight at Southport High School, but what would we expect opening round sectional action? The feels-like temperature is right now at 43 degrees. 43, good friends. We've had some rain earlier in the first half. Luckily, the rain has stopped for now, and we hope it stays away for the rest of the night. Cathedral leading Plainfield 28-7. We talked in the pregame show, Coach Shive, about the fact that Plainfield came in here shorthanded. They don't have their starting quarterback. They don't have their top receiver. Tavion Gaddy, their top running back, has been limited in his opportunities tonight. So you're down 21 points with a really shorthanded squad. What are you telling your team at halftime?
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to find a way to create turnovers on defense. You've got to find a way to have a short field offensively. And, again, give Vanderbush, he has really played, I think, really well in the first half. You've been able to create some big plays offensively, but the biggest thing that has to happen for Coach Woodard early on here in the second half, he's got to find a way to put some points on the board, because the biggest issue they're having right now, down 21, it doesn't get any easier here in the second half.
Again, the winner of this game advancing on to play Ron Colley next Friday night. And I don't have to tell folks what a Cathedral-Roncalli matchup means to those two schools. But there's still a half of football left. Cathedral has to finish the deal here, and Plainfield's going to try to pull the upset, trailing by 21 at halftime. Bo Sanders goes deep here for the Fighting Irish as we get ready to start the third quarter. Ironically enough, it was Cathedral that beat Plainfield in Coach Woodard's first season as the head coach of the Plainfield Quakers. Cathedral beat Plainfield in the sectional championship game 13 seasons ago, and that was the first season that Coach Woodard was the head coach at Plainfield. This ball is fielded at the 2-yard line. A penalty flag gets thrown as Sanders breaks out into the open field. Now he's headed down the right sideline, tiptoeing, and finally he's out of bounds at around the 42-yard line. However, I think this one might be coming back.
Looked like we got a little either holding or block in the back there by the Irish. And again, that's probably been the biggest negative if I'm Bill Peoples coming out of halftime or talking to my team is, hey guys, we have to quit beating ourselves here. As much as Plainfield's doing this, we're doing more damage to ourselves because we keep creating so many penalties.
And Lance, that was their 8th penalty of the game. It was holding on the kick return team. Their 8th penalty of the game for now 91 yards. So they're almost to 100 yards in penalties. And we haven't even played the first 15 seconds of the third quarter. Well, so instead of the big return, the ball goes now back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, I would say, again, that was probably a point of emphasis by Bill Peoples, and, again, something that he will keep addressing with his team.
Sissel looking to get around left end, and he does have a little bit of running room. Cannot run away from the tackling number 12, Owen Litzelman, who finally was able to get him corralled, but not before a first down run was picked up by Sissel.
Again, great job by Kaufman on the left side there. And then Sissel, I like the way he goes inside to get back outside. I like great backs that do that because, again, it allows you to set up blockers or let your receivers be great blockers on the perimeter.
Setting up to the far right of the formation, right in front of the Cathedral bench is Monefalco. See if they're going to pass his direction. No, they go the other way. Penalty flag thrown in the backfield as this pass is incomplete. It was interesting formation. They took Monefalco and put him all the way out to the right sideline, right by the sideline out-of-bounds area. He literally was almost standing out of bounds. They flanked him all the way out this direction, the near side, and then threw the ball back to the left.
I tell you what,
and it's another penalty, by the way, on Cathedral.
Yeah, they've got to have some kind of key there where they by doing so, by taking Monefalco and putting him that far out, somebody had to go with him of relevance,
right,
which is why Cathedral was probably doing that.
So they flanked him out far right, but threw to the left. Doesn't matter. Penalty against Cathedral. Sissel again carrying. And again, he's bouncing it outside. As you said, he starts inside, then bounces it outside. Gets himself out to the 21-yard line before he's tackled by number 44 of Plainfield, Mason Scott.
Great job by Mason Scott, and really the whole Plainfield defense there pursuing. But again, what I like, what they did that time, they were able to string it out further, making Sissel go more east and west, allowing the defense to pursue to limit this game.
When it's all said and done, it ends up being second and about 13. Right back to Sissel. This time he tries to stay inside and gets wrapped up by the ankles and is finally brought down. A good second effort there by Sissel. Got him a couple of extra yards. Mason Scott again in on the tackle for Plainfield as the Quakers do have a player slow to get up. I'll go back to what you said earlier, Coach. Plainfield's been actually pretty good defensively tonight. I mean, you look at 28 points, you say, well, how can that be? Well, they actually have been good defensively.
They really have, and I've been impressed really with how Plainfield has played undermanned on both sides of the football. I know it's 28-7, but I tell you what, Coach Woodard's team is playing hard, and they are fighting.
They've had some great fight to them. That is an excellent point. This is going to be 3rd and 9 after that last run by Sissel. Crossing route is caught by Sanders, and he is into the secondary, and I don't think anybody's going to catch him. Bo Sanders has his 3rd touchdown of the night, and Cathedral extends the lead.
Well, I tell you what, when you run the ball and you stay true to what you do, which what Cathedral does, they have great balance. And by doing so, you now force Plainfield into having an extra man playing against the run. Now it's man-to-man against Sanders. That's never a good matchup for whoever you're playing. Great throw by Edwards, great catch by Sanders, and great touchdown by the Irish.
Once the first defensive back whiffed on the tackle opportunity, it was off to the races for Sanders. 3 touchdowns in the game for Bo Sanders, 14 on the season. It ends up being a 4-play, 85-yard drive that covers 1 minute and 18 seconds. And now a flag on the extra point try for Cathedral.
Was offsides by Plainfield, and what you normally do is you decline that unless you want to go for 2, because you don't want to throw off the distance for the snap and hold there. And again, at this point, up 34-7, Cathedral's not going to go for 2.
So Christian Allerding will try again here. He is perfect in extra points this season, including tonight. He has not missed. And Allerding is able to kick this one in between the uprights, and Cathedral is able to extend its lead to 35-7 over Plainfield on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Bo Sanders has 3 touchdowns tonight, all of them receiving, including the last one we just saw a moment ago, as Cathedral has upped its lead to 35-7. Sanders is committed to play collegiately at Elon, an all-state defensive back last year. They moved him to the offensive side of the football this year. And he's got 9 catches in the game tonight, 3 of them for touchdowns.
Dude, I like the way he plays. And again, playing on both sides of the football. I really thought it was kind of odd, but Means has done a nice job at free safety. But Bo was such a force at free safety last year, and really for 2 years. But I tell you what, he has really impressed with 9 catches and 3 touchdowns tonight offensively.
Colin Dorsett there on that kick return. By the way, should mention too, 4 touchdown passes in the game for Edwards means he has 21 touchdown passes this year to only 4 interceptions.
For a first-year starter,
yeah, right.
That's impressive. It really is.
Impressive. He's been good tonight. Here's a freshman QB who might end up being pretty good before it's all said and done. That is the freshman QB Cale Vanderbush, misfiring on that pass. Vanderbush in the first half was 8 of 14 for 155 yards. He did have the touchdown and the interception.
And I really think that Cale played a good first half. And again, you're looking at probably a 15-year-old freshman playing against Cathedral.
Right.
And I think as much poise as he's shown all game, just been real impressed with him.
On 2nd and 10, he's going to throw again and finds his man Weiniger. He was busy in the first half. It's the 5th catch of the game from Weiniger. He gets up a little slowly. The ball is out to the 42. It's a yard shy of the first down, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
Again, a little RPO there, a little run pass option. Great job. Weiniger got up limping a little bit as I think he's getting ready to leave the game.
Yep, he is coming out of the game, replaced by Max Kodermaz. 3rd and 1 here, and they go to the Wildcat formation with Gaddia coming into the game to take the snap. Oh, the snap was a bad one. It's going to be picked up by Cathedral. They are off and running, trying to score a defensive touchdown, and they're going to do just that. Quentin Cannon. His first fumble recovery of the season is a touchdown fumble recovery. A scoop and a score, and Cathedral adds to their advantage.
Great job. The snap actually hit one of the upbacks there and never got back to the Wildcat quarterback there. And great job by Cannon of again, scooping and scoring. I love the idea of being aggressive by Cannon, of not just falling on the ball, but understanding where he was, had enough time, scooped and scored.
6'2", 190-pound junior, the outside linebacker Cannon. He does have 3 interceptions this season, but that was his first fumble recovery, and it's a memorable one. as now it's 41-7. And Allerding is going to attempt the extra point here. We do have a stoppage of play momentarily. Unfortunately, it's because Gaddia is limping off of the field. Again, he did not come in at 100% to begin with. So I'm wondering if we may have seen the last of Tavion Gaddia, the senior who's had a wonderful year as a running back, but unfortunately battling injuries here at the end of the season. And the extra point is no good. But there is a flag, I believe. How about Allerding misses his first extra point of the year, but he might get a redemption opportunity. Let's see what the call is.
Looks like looks like they're talking about hands to the face or some type of reactions, not your normal offsides penalty, which is what I thought it might have been, or a hold, because that's normally what ends up happening inside there. But again, you're looking at some kind of either illegal contact probably to the snapper or some kind of illegal contact to the face.
This is a dead ball, actually personal foul against both teams. The penalty's offset. So will we replay the down? Or is it just a missed? Well, they were dead ball fouls, weren't they? So,
right.
Yeah, it's just a missed extra point. So there you go. For the first time this season, Christian Allerding has missed on an extra point. The score, however, is 41-7 in favor of Cathedral. When things in life change, your insurance should too. Luckily, an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent can help to see if you're covered for life's constant changes. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Well, I'll be anxious to see what Cathedral does defensively, just because of the fact what they've been doing, the pressure and bringing, playing man, but going after Vanderbush has really worked thus far in the game. And now again, up 41-7. I don't see that changing much.
Allerding will do the kicking off duties here, as we're waiting on Plainfield to bring out their kick return team from the sideline. And now they get the whistle from the officials that we are ready to play. And here they will come off the sideline. 41-7. This game was tied at 7 apiece with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. But since then, it's been all Cathedral. As Allerding will kick it away here. High pop-up kick. This one at least goes as deep as the 11-yard line, one of the deeper kickoffs we've actually seen in this game. And brought out to the 29-yard line on return by Logan Burton. I was talking earlier about the first year at Plainfield for Brian Woodard. His first season, he lost in the sectional championship game to Cathedral, but that was their only loss of the year. Plainfield went 11-1 that season, losing only one time. That was the loss to Cathedral. Think about that. First-year head coach at Plainfield in Brian Woodard, and he went 11-0 to start the season before he finally lost a game.
Well, I tell you what, it is, again, just a credit to what Brian Woodard does as a coach and just in general. He's a class act, does everything the right way. Unfortunately, he's a little undermanned here tonight.
I told Brian he made a big mistake going 11-0 right
exactly.
out of the gate.
Yeah.
You need your agent to hit up the AD and start asking for a contract extension right away when you start like that.
Well, I tell you what, he's done a great job here at Plainfield for 13 years, and Plainfield's very lucky to have somebody of Brian's character leading their program, because there's not much better in our state when it comes to the class and character than Brian Woodard.
It is 2nd and 9 after that short run, really about 9.5 here for Plainfield. And again, it looks like they'll be going the rest of the way without Gaddia. Vanderbush steps up in the pocket, throws an interception. That ball is picked off by Cathedral's J. Jones Moore. That's the third takeaway of the game by the Cathedral defense. They've got 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. And the last 2 possessions of this game for Plainfield have both been giveaways. And Cathedral gets the ball right back. There is a flag that I believe was thrown after the change of possession. It was. It's a face mask penalty against Plainfield.
Well, I like what Vanderbush does there. He avoids pressure, but again, by stepping up, he's done that all night long. But again, ball just kind of carried on him a little bit. Great job by Jay Jones. More there of not only intercepting the ball, but returning it a great distance. Now they're helped with the personal foul face mask.
The face mask came after the change of possession, so the ball was already in possession of Jay Jones Moore and the defense. And then the penalty was called on the face mask on the tackle. So just like that, Cathedral now is inside of the 15-yard line with a football. They lead 41-7. And they've got a new running back in the game. He is number 30, Jake Langdon. Langdon saw action for a couple of snaps in the first half. And here he's handed the football down to the 11-yard line before he's tackled by Ryan Kurt.
I'll be anxious to see if Cathedral's able to punch it in if we start seeing a little bit of their second unit, only because Roncalli's got the bye. Yeah. They've had an extra week to really get healthy. And again, this late in the season, there are a lot of bumps and bruises for the Irish.
Warren Edwards will actually turn, and this time hand to the fullback. Hey, the big fella who's spent most of the game as a blocking back is now a true running back, and Luke Adams scores a touchdown.
Great determination, great job up front. Again, can't say enough about the Irish offensive linemen, just really paving the way there. But again, I like it again. Nice job of letting your predominantly blocking fullback there have a chance to carry the ball and showing that he can carry the ball and score as well.
And look how excited his teammates are for him. A chance to score a touchdown. A 5'11", 200-pound fullback / tight end, the senior, with a rushing touchdown. This time Allerding is true on the extra point, and the lead is pushed out to 48-7. Cathedral running away with it here over Plainfield in Sectional 13 action on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Old View. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the wind.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on.
48-7, Cathedral the lead after the rushing touchdown by Luke Adams. It's been all Cathedral here in the second half. This game was 28-7 at halftime, but 20 straight by the Irish right out of the gate here in the third quarter. It's been aided by Plainfield turnovers, one fumble recovery return for a touchdown by Cathedral, and an interception just a moment ago by Jay Jones Moore helps Cathedral with a short field, and they score another touchdown. His kick return goes out to the 36-yard line. That ball was fumbled. Picked up again by Cathedral. Oh, another turnover for Plainfield. Wow. Dorsett was trying to run around the right side of the formation on the kick return, the blocking formation, and he coughed it up, and Cathedral has now 3 straight takeaways.
And I tell you what, that's been the biggest difference. Even though the first half was 28-7, Plainfield took care of the football, and now you can't give anybody 3 straight turnovers or 3 straight, especially somebody like Cathedral here. And again, but as we talk a little bit, I would think that we probably are going to start seeing some of the backup players for Cathedral here, and I think we're going to see a heavy dose of running. And
you're about to see it right here, by the way, because just as you say it, they make a change at quarterback. They bring in Nathan McCahill, sophomore QB, into the game for the first time tonight as they have turned it over to the backups. Langdon carrying, no gain, probably a loss of a yard here for Cathedral.
Great job by Boergen. We've called his name a lot. 54, really, Caleb has had a great game playing on both sides as a tackle on offense and then as a defensive end on defense. And really has had a stellar game.
some backups into the game on the offensive line for Cathedral. Not all of them, but a couple of backups now on the O-line. Jordan Thomas is split wide left as a wideout here for Cathedral. They turn and hand it again to Langdon, who lowers the shoulders and gets his way up to the 26-yard line.
Again, Plainfield has defensively, their front seven has really played well. Linebacker-wise, they've come downhill. They've really limited at times the running game of Cathedral. The one thing I've been probably most impressed with Cathedral, they've had great balance all game, run and pass offensively.
3rd and 5 here. Cahill looks to the sideline to get the call with Luke Adams, the touchdown man from a moment ago, lining up with the tailback. And they'll give it to Adams. He tries to bounce it outside and runs right into the arms of Ricky Alsum. Was a nice tackle there and no gain after the tackle by Alsum. That'll make it 4th down and 5.
We've called Alsum's name a bunch as well, and he's done a nice job from the outside linebacker and secondary part, and really has played well for the Quakers all game.
Lucas Kiriko is into the game as a tight end, number 88. He's played a little bit in the first half as the complimentary tight end to Montefalco, but now he's the first-string tight end with this group.
Be surprised if we don't see a quick dive or quick hitter right up the middle by Cathedral.
That's what they're going to do on 4th and 5. McCahill actually pulled it, looks for a receiver, and has it. We were just talking about this young man, number 88, Lucas Carrico, and he has a first down catch to the 11-yard line.
Great job by McCahill there of play action. I thought he gave the ball.
I did too.
I really did. And nice job again. Great poise and great presence by the sophomore. Gets outside of the rush and delivers a strike. Great throw to Carrico.
So 1st and 10, clock moving. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. And a stoppage of play for a moment. I think we have an equipment issue. One of the Plainfield players has to actually leave the game because of an equipment issue. And that's exactly what has happened. So they will sub in with Max Kodermaz at number 43. And now we're ready to go. And they give it right back again, this time to Luke Adams, who takes the ball to the 10-yard line, maybe falls ahead to the 9. We'll see where they spot it. Ends up being a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Cathedral can get a first down without scoring here. They'd have to put the ball inside of the 2-yard line.
And I tell you what, Plainfield has made Cathedral earn everything, and I think they're going to continue to do that. They're not going to quit here. I just think again they're kind of running out of gas.
Fake it to Adams this time. McCahill keeps, wants to throw on the run. That ball is tipped up and incomplete. Penalty flag is coming in here. They were looking for Zane Hill, number 19, on the crossing route. And the penalty flag was thrown right at the feet of Zane Hill as he went tumbling to the ground.
And some people might wonder, Cathedral's throwing the ball up 48-7. Those are all RPOs. Those are all run pass option, and basically the way that Plainfield's playing it, they're forcing Cathedral or the quarterback to re-throw and not give and run the ball.
That was an ineligible receiver downfield against Cathedral. And I think Plainfield was declining the penalty, right? So, yeah, the ball spotted then in the wrong spot. Yeah, Plainfield said, we'll decline it. And so now they readjust the football to just outside of the 10-yard line, really the nose of the ball resting on the 10.
And the reason for what happened there, your linemen are blocking run. And so they were downfield because McCahill got a little flush from the pocket and thus was able to get them downfield.
Here's Zane Hill on a reception, a play that is technically counted as a passing play. Jacob Platt pushes him out of bounds inside of the 10. I'd like to talk a little bit more about that, those run-pass option plays. tough on the offensive linemen, are they not, to avoid going downfield when it ends up being a passing play?
You've got a 3-yard grace period or grace yardage that you can be downfield. The problem happens if it doesn't go smoothly and it's not a quick read. In the last play, McCahill got flushed a little bit, held on to the ball probably a second or two later, thus the linemen are downfield.
Allerding on to attempt a field goal of 25 yards. He's made only one field goal this year, 1 for 4, and now you can make it 2 for 5. And that's his season long. It had been 24 yards. This one goes for 25. So Christian Allerding on, kicks through the field goal, extends the Irish lead to 51-7 on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
All Cathedral tonight in opening round action of Sectional 13. 51-7 is our score late in the third quarter at Southport High School tonight. Ron Colley will play Cathedral next Friday night in semifinal action. That's assuming we don't have the greatest comeback in Indiana high school football here tonight. Here's another ball kicked deep to the 10-yard line. Remember last time Plainfield returned to kickoff, they actually fumbled the football. And this time they'll hang on to it tightly, and the ball goes all the way out to the 36. And that is where the Plainfield Quakers will have a chance to work on offense.
Well, look for Brian Woodard and Derek Moyers to, again, keep running what they're doing. They're giving every snap that Cale Vanderbush is in the game is invaluable just because of what it does for the offseason, for next year in general. I know that Aiden Moyers is back as well, so they're going to have a great nucleus of quarterbacks to draw from this offseason.
Vanderbush does stay in the game as the QB. They don't really have a lot of options, quite frankly, at quarterback right now. He does hand the ball to a backup running back. That is Brandon Denbrook, who is a senior. And nice to see a senior getting a chance here in what will be his final high school football game. Denbrook there wearing number 23. Well, as I've watched Vanderbush tonight, and I like you, Coach, I've been impressed. You think about next year for Plainfield, you assume Aiden Moyers will be at full strength next season. When he comes back healthy as a junior, you'd have Vanderbush as a sophomore next year. You'll have a couple really talented quarterbacks on your roster.
Well, I tell you, it's great to have depth at that position. And again, two young men who are young, who throw the ball well, who understand the offense. They battled all summer and into the fall. The biggest difference was that Aiden had run the offense last year as a freshman. But we've seen some really great things out of Cale this game.
That was Gage Henry, by the way, another senior on that catch just a moment ago that will make it 3rd and 5 here for Plainfield. Plainfield has 20 seniors on its roster. And it's nice to see a couple of those seniors making plays here late in this game, late in this third quarter. Vanderbush will throw in just a little bit behind the intended wideout Weiniger, who is only a sophomore, but an incomplete stops the clock and makes it 4th and 5.
Well, again, probably one of the first times all game that Vanderbush didn't give a catchable ball to his receivers, even though it was a little bit behind him. But again, I cannot tell you how impressed I've been with Cale and just his presence in the pocket.
Here he is lining up in the shotgun. Remember, earlier in the game he did this and then ended up doing a quick kick. See if he'll do the same thing as he backs up a couple of extra yards. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. And Vanderbush will indeed punt the ball on the quick kick. It is fielded at about the 25-yard line by number 25, Shiloh Means. And Means is spinning out of a couple of would-be tacklers, and he's still on his feet down the left sideline. And I think he's going to take it all the way in for a touchdown. Shiloh Means, but a penalty flag thrown. Means is celebrating, but I think the celebration is premature. Off of the quick kick, Shiloh Means on the punt return went all the way to the end zone, but this one is coming back.
Well, the only negative about a quick kick is you have offensive linemen and offensive players in the game. We saw a couple years ago when Alabama played Auburn, where they returned the field goal attempt. You have offensive linemen or bigger players in there that aren't used to tackling players, and that's kind of what happened there. Was a quick kick is great, but Means recognized it, got back and fielded the quick kick, and was able to return it for a touchdown. But now it's called back.
Now it ends up being an illegal block in the back. It is a spot foul, and it happened at the 38-yard line of Plainfield. So spot foul from there, walk it back 10 yards. It will still be good field position for Cathedral. They'll have the ball at the 48 of Plainfield, but they certainly will not have the touchdown.
It looks like, Rob, it looks like a whole new offensive line now for Cathedral. So I would say you've got the full-fledged backups there for the Irish now offensively.
Also into the game was wide receiver Alec Flynn, number 82. He's a senior for Cathedral. First time we've seen him tonight. And just as they were snapping the ball, a timeout was called by Cathedral head coach Bill Peebles. Stoppage of play before they could get the ball snapped with 2:12 to play here in the third quarter. And Cathedral leading 51-7. Now this is not a high point total this year yet for Cathedral. They scored 55 in a win at Jeffersonville in week 6, beat Jeffersonville 55-14. Right now they are at 51.
Yeah, the one thing that is great about Cathedral advancing here is it's another week with Bill Peebles working with his staff, and I think that anytime you're new to the program, even though Bill has been here, you're new to these coaches and these players, and another week long together just builds that trust and builds that camaraderie. And again, Bill feels like that transition has gone very well this summer and fall, so this is just adding to it.
Well, he had big shoes to fill without question, taking over for Rick Strife, now the athletic director at Cathedral. It had great success, did Rick Strife, as the head coach at Cathedral. That's putting it mildly, great success. The number of state championships he was able to win. Quarterback keep this time, and on the read play, McCahill got clobbered. Boer again on the tackle here for Plainfield.
And Plainfield's not going to quit. They're not going to stop playing. And again, that's a credit. And I know the score looks lopsided, but I'm telling you, they haven't played a bad game. They've turned the ball over, especially in this second half, which really has added to the Cathedral scores. But I've been impressed for, again, you're undermanned. It doesn't matter what you say as a coach. The players know who's playing and who's not.
Right.
And again, for them to battle the way they have all game is a credit to the program itself.
John Paul Kozlowski is the tight end to the right of the formation here for Cathedral. First time we've called his name tonight. And the first time we've talked about this young man, number 31, David Perry, a sophomore, who took that pass on the shovel pass and ended up actually losing a couple of yards.
Good job by the Plainfield front and really their front seven. And defense has played well, have given a couple big plays, but in general have been really stout against the run, making Sissel earn every yard he gained in that first half especially.
It is now 3rd and 12 for McCahill and the rest of the Irish offense. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. They will keep it on the ground. They will turn around and hand to Adams, who had the rushing touchdown earlier in this quarter. Penalty flag thrown here. That'll stop action for a moment.
Thrown in the area of holding. Going to be will be anxious to see Plainfield. I'm going to guess is going to decline it to make it 4th down.
That was a no gain. It would keep it at 4th and 12. If Coach Woodard decides to decline it, that's exactly what he will do. Well, and I got to tell you, I mentioned this earlier. We had Plainfield here on the Champions Network in Week 3 against Mooresville. And Mooresville won that game 52-42, but the Plainfield was just such a different-looking team then. They had all their bodies healthy. They were so competitive. They were so fun to watch. As a matter of fact, they scored their first touchdown on a trick play in that game, and you're right. When you just don't have enough healthy bodies, it just makes it so tough.
Well, you're playing against a very experienced Cathedral team. They've battle-tested all year long, and so, again, you expect them to play hard, and they have.
Cathedral does decide to punt on 4th and 12. And a fair catch is called for at the 16-yard line. I can remember after that game, actually, the next morning sending a text to Coach Woodard and telling him how impressed I was with his team. And I liked his team. I thought they'd have a chance to win a lot of games. And, hey, when you just can't have healthy bodies, it's just so tough. Both of these teams came in on 2-game losing streaks. Plainfield had lost their last 2 games of the regular season. So had Cathedral. So both teams are kind of limping into this thing record-wise, but literally and figuratively, Plainfield was limping into the playoffs because of the injury bug. 10 seconds to go in the third. And that should be the final play of quarter number 3, as the Plainfield ball carrier Ricky Alsum has the final snap of the third quarter. All Cathedral here tonight in opening round sectional action. They lead 51-7 over Plainfield on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Oldview. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the rain.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me.
Well, we open up the fourth quarter. Cathedral's leading by the score of 51-7. 444 yards of offense from the Cathedral Fighting Irish, and they've only played 3 quarters of football.
I want to tell you what, they've been impressive. And the thing that they were, especially in the first half, with over 300 yards of offense, they had such great balance. I mean, again, they had 150-plus yards of passing, 150-plus yards of rushing. You can do that, you're going to win a lot of games.
And an interesting note, when you look at the offensive numbers for Plainfield, they had 159 yards of offense at the end of the first quarter. They have only 22 yards of offense since. So they played quarters number 2 and 3 with just 22 yards of total offense. They had a fumble in there that was returned for a touchdown. They had an interception that they threw. And so after what was a very competitive first quarter, the bottom has kind of fallen out here for Plainfield.
And to add to that, Cathedral ended the second quarter on a 17-play drive that really ate up a lot of the clock as well.
And I'd say this too, Lance. When you look at a 51-7 score, I think sometimes maybe it's a bit hard to believe that there really was a turning point in a game that turned this game on end. But I think that 17-play drive did, right? I mean, that took all the momentum from the Plainfield sideline, clearly put it on the side of the Cathedral Irish, and they've just been dominating ever since.
Well, when you can control the clock and the ball and end in the end zone, it really takes a lot of fight out of you. You can come back as a coach and talk all you want. Then Plainfield starts the second half with turnover, and the game is over.
That was awesome on that last first down run there for Plainfield. Ricky Alsum, who's been busy here in the second half with an opportunity to carry the football. Again, if you joined us late, Tavion Gaddia, their top running back for the Red Pride of Plainfield, injured late in the season. He gave it a go tonight. He did actually have a chance to carry the football a few times in this game, but eventually just gave way to the knee injury that he just couldn't hold in there for. Gaddia did carry the ball, I think, 4 times tonight when it was all said and done. 3 times it was. So he did get a chance to get in there and play a little bit. He was in the starting lineup, but just not healthy enough to go the distance. And that did not help.
Well,
Keller
again,
here on the
when you've got a senior that's done such a great job in carrying the ball for you in 1,200 yards of offense, and now he's gone.
Yeah,
it's really hard, Rob, to really function offensively.
Gaddia 15 rushing touchdowns this year. Also caught 2 touchdown passes. Straight snap to the quarterback, who says, I'll keep it myself, and why not when you're as talented as this guy is, Derek Keller. Saw Keller with that 74-yard touchdown catch back in the first quarter. And now he has a quarterback run for a first down here.
Well, the one nice thing that Brian Woodard's doing is he's making sure all his seniors are playing. And I think that's something you alluded to earlier. He's got a great group of core seniors. And, again, making sure all of them get on the field just to thank him, because the one thing he talked about before the game was how resilient this senior class has been, and they've showed it tonight.
That includes number 37, Charlie Drake, who's into the game as a blocking halfback right now. As Plainfield's gotten very simple offensively, they're simply putting Keller at quarterback, hiking him the football, and it's straight ahead power football with a QB.
And I think Keller comes up a little gimpy there with his ankle. I would not be surprised to see him coming out.
And he is doing just that, exiting the game. Brandon Denbrook, 23, back into the game as a running back. So it had been quarterback power for 3 or 4 straight snaps. Let's see what they'll do now. They'll give it to Denbrook, actually, who has some running room. How about this? Mr. Denbrook inside the 25, inside the red zone, down to the 17, before he's finally tackled by Malcolm Clark. So the senior Denbrook gets a chance and makes the most of it.
Great feet, great bounce. Again, what I like what Denbrook did, kind of like what Cathedral did earlier in the first half, inside to go outside. And Sissel did that very, very well, and now Denbrook does the same thing.
See if Vanderbush will hand it to him again. He will, but this time he's met in the backfield. That'll be a tackle for a loss by Jaden Scruggs, sophomore linebacker.
Jaden said welcome to the fourth quarter here, and again, nice job of playing with his hands again and coming off the block and meeting the ball carrier Denbrook in the hole.
2nd and 13 after the 3-yard loss. Now they're going to pass. Vanderbush lets it fly for the back of the end zone and overthrows his intended wideout. Make it 3rd down and 13.
Again, Vanderbush extended the play. Nice job. What I liked about there was he extended and then put the ball in a place that if his receiver couldn't catch it, it was going out of bounds to live another down.
Evan Clark was that intended receiver, a junior wideout. Clock is still running here. Both coaches have agreed to go with a running clock here in the 4th quarter, despite that was an incomplete pass a moment ago. Vanderbush for the end zone. That ball is caught. Is it a touchdown? Yes. Touchdown, Plainfield. Jack Beebe on the receiving end of that touchdown throw for Beebe, his first receiving touchdown of the season. The sophomore Beebe off the pass from the freshman Vanderbush.
Great job by BB. Again, like how, the youth of Plainfield strikes late in this game. Great catch by BB. Great throw by Vanderbush.
Extra point try on the way from Harris Nichols is up, and it is good. And it makes it 51-14. We'll take a break. You're watching IHSAA football on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to ihsaafoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Yeah, Plainfield gets back on the scoreboard, makes it 51-14. Again, the clock is running here, even though we've had a touchdown scored. That's because both coaches have agreed. But they'll just let the clock run out here. Cathedral's going to advance on to the second round of the sectional, awaiting Ron Colley in 5A sectional action next week. This is what sectional 13 is, one of those odd sectionals with an odd number of teams, where you do have a team that gets a bye. That is not common in Indiana high school football. Most of the sectionals are made up with even-numbered teams, but sectional 13 is one that has an opportunity to get a bye, and that's why Ron Colley gets to take the Friday night off this weekend. They will be well rested for Cathedral next Friday night.
Well, you talked about it earlier, Rob, that Cathedral-Roncalli matchup. That'll be not for the faint of heart. And
No,
when those
not.
two teams get together in programs, it is great Catholic football, and something that a lot of pride and tradition at both schools.
Well, we talked about seniors getting to play late in this game. How about Colin Odell? The third-string quarterback is now into the game for Cathedral. He just took that last snap and handed it to George Newhart, who's a sophomore, number 40. Again, this is Odell wearing number 10. Colin Odell, 6'1", 165-pound senior, getting some snaps here late in the game.
Great job by Odell of using the clock all the way for the play clock here to help his offense.
That will not be enough for a first down. It's going to be about 2 yards shy there on the run by Newhart.
Again, the neat thing about this game for both teams, even though Plainfield is not urgent to come in on the short end, a lot of players playing. A lot of players are going to play in the last game of this season for them, especially for Plainfield. But in this game for Cathedral, again, a lot of these guys on the sideline have done a great job all year on playing on either Saturday or Monday in the JV and freshman games. And now they get a chance to show mom and dad what they can do on Friday night.
That includes linebacker Jeremy Bennett, number 89, a senior into the game now for Plainfield. That'll be a first down run. Conway is into the game. Cameron Conway, number 85, a senior DB for Plainfield. Trying to look at some other new faces I haven't seen in the game tonight. So both coaches have done a nice job getting their seniors into the game late here. Of course, the beauty for Cathedral, their seniors know they have at least one more week extended on their schedule. And they hope more. Think about this. Cathedral, the last time they did not win a sectional was 2005.
Wow.
That's how good they've been.
Well, I tell you what, Rick Strife, AD at Cathedral now, has done just an incredible job. You touched upon it earlier. Jim O'Hara before him really carried on a tradition started by Rick Strife, again, who had left Cathedral to go to North Central, then to come back. But again, the expectation is you're going to play into November, and you're going to play until the leaves are off of the trees.
Under 90 seconds remaining in this game. Well, again, Cathedral advances on to play Roncalli. They'll improve their overall record to 5-5, and Plainfield season will end at 4-6. Plainfield was 5-5 last year, lost to Decatur Central in the first round of the sectionals. This year they will fall in the first round of the sectionals to Cathedral. But if you look only at the skill position players for Plainfield, I think the future is pretty bright. They got some good ones coming back.
Well, I tell you what, I think what Brian Woodard does, he's got a great staff. He's been able to bring in some really good people recently, and that really has bolstered the play. The biggest thing they've got to find a way to do is to quit getting injured. They've lost some really key players the last couple years just to kind of freakish injuries, and so for as a coach that's frustrating. But a credit to his team, they played awfully hard tonight.
Should be the final snap of the game right here. And it will be. By the way, fans, not sure where we will be next week for sectional action, but check IHSAATV.org for updated schedules. We will make that decision sometime on Monday. And you'll know where you can find us next Friday night as the playoffs will continue right here in the great state of Indiana. The final score tonight, Cathedral over Plainfield, 51-14 as the Fighting Irish win and advance on. They'll play Roncalli next Friday in Sectional 13 action. Heath Shanahan was our producer tonight. Morgan, our videographer. Well done, Morgan from Ball State. First time she's worked with us all season, and she did a really good job. We might keep her around a little bit, I think. Lance Shai was my broadcast partner. I'm Rob Blackman, thanking you for joining us tonight here from Southport. Congratulations to the Fighting Irish of Cathedral. They are moving on in the playoffs as they beat Plainfield by the final of 51-14. That'll do it for us here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Have a great weekend, everyone.